A few weeks ago, I got a comment on one of my videos asking me to cover sprint football. Ironically, I had just seen a post about the sport on X/Twitter, depending on what you call it, earlier that week, so the gears started moving for me. Well, last weekend, the season for both the CSFL and MSFL came to an end, crowning the champion of each league, but there are not national title games, and I think by drawing attention to the league, we can help make that happen. This is a story of sprint football, the true underdog story. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I am planning to release multiple videos a week this season. Also, let me know what your favorite story has been this year in college football in the comments section below. Sprint football has to be one of the most interesting versions of college football I have ever researched, and I have researched multiple versions of college football around the world. It has a strict 178-pound weight limit, which allows the military academies to dominate. Aside from the weight limit, it also has the same rules regular college football has, and is slowly growing in popularity since it started streaming on ESPN+. Former players include President Jimmy Carter, New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, and Hoodie Allen. It is viewed by many schools as a safer alternative to conventional football with the lower weight of the players. The history of sprint football goes back to the early 1930s and was created by the president of the University of Pennsylvania, the prestigious Ivy League school, because he wanted to ensure that the smaller talented student athletes still had the opportunity to compete in football on the intercollegiate level. The original weight restrictions for the sport was 150 pounds in 1934, and the 7 founding members were Cornell, Lafayette, Penn, Princeton, Rutgers, Villanova, and Yale. In 1946, Navy fielded their first team, while Army followed in 1957. During the first 25 years of the league, athletes became bigger, forcing the league to increase the weight limit from 150 to 154 pounds initially, then later to 159 pounds. At that time, the league was called the Eastern Lightweight Football League, but just 2 days prior to the 1996 season, the ELFL increased the weight limit again, this time to 165 pounds. In 2004, the weight limit was increased to 166 pounds, with the next weight limit being increased to 172 pounds, and the current weight limit being 178 pounds, established recently. The weight limit is now 178 pounds or 183 pounds with greater than 5% body fat. The league changed the term lightweight to sprint in 1998 to better express the quickness, speed, and caliber of player in the league. It also made the game more attractive for schools. Weigh-ins are done 4 days before game and then again 2 days as well, and players need to meet the 178-pound weight restriction during both weigh-ins. Players need to watch their diets and training to stay under the weight restrictions in a lot of ways like wrestlers, and the players are constantly running during practice. After the second weigh-in though, players are free to put on any weight they want to, and a lot of guys play at 180 pounds or more come game day. Most of the players are generally between 5'6" and 6 foot tall, but there are always the exceptions to the rules, as some are as tall as 6'3" or as short as 5'2". It provides an opportunity for players who may have been told they were always too small to play in high school to play the game they love. Due to the smaller size of the players, technique and execution are more of a focus than in normal college football. They also beat Division III teams regularly when they play, proving size does not mean everything. There are now 2 leagues competing in spring football, the CSFL and the MSFL. The CSFL teams are located in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic parts of the country. Currently has 7 members in Army, Caldwell, Chestnut Hill, Cornell, Mansfield, Navy, UPenn, and St. Thomas Aquinas College. Franklin Pierce University used to play in the CSFL, but moved to the Division II level in 2018. Post University did the same after the 2020 season, while Alderson Broaddus University scrapped the program completely this year. Each team plays a 7-game schedule and also hosts alumni games throughout the season as well. The alumni games serve a dual purpose of raising funds to support the team and maintaining alumni interest in the program. Alumni donations are required if they play the game over 178 pounds. When Caldwell joined the league in 2017, the league was divided into North and South. Princeton dropped the sport in 2015 after 16 consecutive losing seasons and wanted to shift their resources to their club football team. A number of other Ivy League schools have historically had sprint football teams, including the Yale Bulldogs, Harvard Crimson, and the Columbia Lions, all of whom had dropped the sport many years earlier. Of the Ivy League schools, only Penn and Cornell remain. For many years, there was no conference championship game, and things were decided via round-robin schedules. The league has been dominated by Army and Navy, who have won at least a share of the conference title 76 times, which included a stretch of 20 straight from 1955 to 1974 and 17 straight from 1983 to 1999. In 2021, the MSFL was created, and they began playing in 2022 and consists of Bellarmine, Calumet College of St. Joseph, Fontbonne, Midway, Oakland City, Quincy, St. Mary's of the Woods, and Walsh. The hope by those close to the game hope that if the MSFL finds success, that it may continue its westward expansion. CSFL data suggests it leads to fewer concussions. One of the member schools, Midway University, posted an FAQ on its site expressing the same sentiment. If it were to expand west, Air Force is almost a shoo-in to put together their own squad, but just can't right now because of the travel costs. Sprint football is an intercollegiate varsity sport not sponsored by the NCAA or NAIA, with the founding members of the Midwest Sprint Football League also being affiliated with the NCAA or NAIA at some point in their school histories. Their MSFL membership and competition in sprint football will continue to be separated from the NCAA and NAIA sports and affiliations. 5 of the 6 founding members of the MSFL do not have varsity football in either levels. Malloy will begin playing in 2024, with their president saying, "We are very excited to bring football to Malloy University and join the Collegiate Sprint Football League with its long history and outstanding list of member institutions." Malloy is fortunate to have a thriving body of successful student athletes, and sprint football is a positive addition that will enhance the campus experience for the entire university. The sport is also being used as a recruitment tool for schools like St. Thomas, who started their program to increase male enrollment. One awesome story I came across while researching this video is the story of Roger Subramani. He was 5'4" and weighed 110 pounds and was never able to play football growing up because he was always too small, but sprint football provided him that opportunity. Defensive linemen can run down wide receivers while running backs may be bigger than their offensive linemen, which sounds crazy to most football fans. According to one Cornell coach, the majority of his players were all state athletes in high school. The stands are never really filled at these games though, as most people don't even know the sport exists. In 1994, Sports Illustrated's Brad Herzog wrote an article chronicling sprint football's popularity in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, where 2 teams, one of which usually being Army, participated in an event known as the Anthracite Bowl on an annual basis from 1983 until 2001. The event became an opportunity for Pottsville residents to open up their homes to their athletes, hosting them for the weekend. Then Army linebacker James Lewis was quoted in the article as saying that players would usually stay with the same host family 2 or 3 years in a row, and then stayed in contact with them through letters or visits. For most of the guys on the team, it's like a second family, Lewis said. The residents of the city loved hosting the game as they created community events around it. Some sprint football games are now played on ESPN+, which has led to more information about the league. Navy recently beat Army in the conference championship game to close the season 6-1, while the winner of Calumet and St. Mary Woods will win this year's MSFL championship. Sprint football is special and something I hope will continue to grow, and it may be one of the most special football leagues in all of football. What do you think? Who are you going to root for in sprint football, and do you want your alma mater to put together a sprint football team? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more college football content. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.